Greetings friends, and welcome to another Country Collections video on the fascinating world of stamps. For this video, we will be getting into some geography and history. We'll be exploring stamps from some of the lesser known countries, regions, and territories of our world, including places some of you may not have even heard of. Some of them may not be called something else, but we will get into that. We'll be doing this geography lesson alphabetically, so for this video, we will be focusing on just the A's. The first place I'll mention is Djibouti. Wait, I know what you're thinking. Djibouti does not start with A. You're right. Djibouti doesn't even start with what it sounds like. It sounds like J. But this is how it's spelled. But back to the A. Before the Republic of Djibouti, an African country bordered with Somalia to the south and Ethiopia to the southwest, was called that, it was under French occupation, and from 1967 to 1977, it was known as the Afars and Isas. Based on research, the name was derived because of the Afar people of Djibouti and the Somali Isa clan. Now, this area is also known by other names, but we will discuss those when we get to their respective letters. This is just a little history of the area, but this is a stamp channel after all, so here are some stamps that were issued while the territory was still called Afars and Isas. We also have Aden, a port city located in Yemen in the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula. Now there's a lot of history with Aden, too much to mention here, so you can do your own research. But the port's convenient position on the sea route between India and Europe made Aden desirable to rulers who sought to possess it at various times throughout history. According to Britannica, the name Aden also appears in the Old Testament as a location in Ezekiel chapter 27 verse 23 as a place with which Tyre had trading connections. Aden was also part of the British administration from 1839 to 1967, and here are some of the stamps that were produced under their occupation. What about Aitutaki? Have you ever heard of that place? This is how you spell it. Aitutaki is the second most populated island in the Cook Islands, located here. Some of you may be saying, I've never heard of the Cook Islands either. We will get to see eventually. Aitutaki is a major tourist destination known for its beautiful beaches and its flora and fauna. Here are some of the stamps produced featuring this region. The next place we will explore is Alexandretta. We are going into some more history here. This was a political territory in northern Syria bordering on Turkey. It was included in the Syrian territory mandated to France under the Versailles Treaty, and the name was changed to Hatay in 1938. The following year, France returned the territory to Turkey in exchange for certain concessions. These are some examples of stamps issued in this area. For this next one, I looked at a pronunciation dictionary to ensure how to properly pronounce it. But we're moving on to Allenstein. This was a province of East Prussia from 1905 to 1945. There I go again with places some of us never heard of. But briefly, the Kingdom of Prussia was a historical region and state in Central and Eastern Europe. It was known for its powerful military and role in the unification of Germany. Allenstein held a plebiscite in 1920 under the Versailles Treaty, voting to join Germany rather than Poland. Later that year, it became part of the German Republic. Here are some Allenstein stamps. Many of you may have heard of Andorra, located on the southern slope of the Pyrenees mountain between France and Spain. But did you know that Andorra was under the control of both countries at one point? It was subject to the joint control of France and the Spanish Bishop of Urgell and paid annual tribute to both. In 1993, Andorra became a constitutional co-principality governed by its own parliament. Here are some examples of stamps from Andorra under the Spanish administration and the French administration. Moving on to Angra. Angra is an administrative district of the Azores, which we will eventually get to, consisting of the islands of Teixeira, São Jorge, and Graciosa. The Azores is an autonomous region of Portugal. Now, that country I'm sure you've heard of. A brief history about Angra, particularly the Bay of Angra. The Bay of Angra has been of historical importance to the island since the 15th century. It was a port of call for returning merchant shipping from the East Indies and Brazil, laden with gold, silver, porcelain, spices, rare woods, and other goods. These ships would anchor in the Bay of Angra until supported by armed escorts, which would accompany the ships on the rest of their voyage to Portugal. The bay at Angra provided shelter for northern and northwestern winds. Only storms originating to the south or southeast posed a threat. There aren't many stamps from Angra, but Azores stamps were used in Angra from 1906 to 1931, when they were superseded by those of Portugal. Here are a couple stamps from Angra. The next country is Anguilla. This may be familiar to many, at least you may have heard of it. Anguilla is a British overseas territory in the Caribbean and is one of the most northern of the Leeward Islands. Here's something that might be interesting to you about Anguilla. It has a different way of navigating the island. Instead of house numbers and street names, directions are given using nearby landmarks like past the bakery or across from the Blue Church. I mentioned this is a different way, but it's by no means a unique way, as it's safe to say that most, if not all, the islands navigate similarly. Even living in a small town in the US, I've found that some use this form of navigation. But here are some Anguillan stamps. Next up is Ascension. It is an island in the South Atlantic Ocean, 900 miles from Liberia, and is part of the British Crown colony of St. Helena. It is actually a volcanic island with 44 dormant craters identified. English is the official language. Here are some stamps from Ascension Island. Whilst we look at these, in case you're wondering, yes, you can visit Ascension Island. It is known as one of the safest places to live, work, and visit in the world. A single entry visa allows you to stay for up to 3 months. Next up, we'll be going into Australian states. Now, these don't start with A, yet because they're under Australia, they will be featured here. First up is New South Wales. Today, New South Wales is well known for its capital city of Sydney. It also has seemingly endless beaches and bushland, and a sophisticated dining scene. But let's head back in time. The colony of New South Wales was founded as a British penal colony in 1788. Basically, what this means is that it was used as a place to exile prisoners and separate them from the general population. Fast track to 1901, when New South Wales joined 5 other British colonies to form the Commonwealth of Australia. No longer a place for isolation, New South Wales is Australia's oldest and most populous state, offering vibrant city life and stunning natural beauty. Here are some stamps from New South Wales. We also have Queensland. Located in the northeast, Queensland is the second largest and third most populous state in Australia. Many visit for its sparkling coastline and idyllic islands dotting the wondrous Great Barrier Reef. Until 1860, Queensland utilized the postal service of New South Wales, and stamps of New South Wales were used until November 1st, 1860. Here are some stamps from Queensland. Moving on to South Australia, a state in the southern central part of Australia. South Australia was also a British colony from 1836 to 1901, when it joined New South Wales and Queensland, along with other states we will discuss shortly, to form the Commonwealth of Australia. Today, South Australia is the 4th largest of Australia's states and territories by area, which includes some of the most arid or dry parts of the continent. The capital city, Adelaide, has a sophisticated art and dining scene, and South Australia is also internationally known for its wine. Here are some stamps from South Australia. Again, because it was under British colonization, the stamps prominently feature Queen Victoria, which was a common motif on stamps from the British Empire under her reign. Next up is Tasmania. This state is Australia's smallest and least populous. It is an island state with its capital and largest city being Hobart. Tasmania was also used by the British as a penal colony. Today, Tasmania's economy comprises principally of tourism, agriculture, aquaculture, education, and healthcare. It is said Tasmania has a relatively cool temperate climate compared to the rest of Australia, being spared from the hot summers of the mainland and experiencing 4 distinct seasons. Take a look at some Tasmanian stamps. Moving on to Victoria. Named in honor of none other than Queen Victoria herself, this state was separated from New South Wales and established as a separate Crown colony in 1851, achieving responsible government in 1855. While Victoria is the second smallest state after Tasmania, it has the second largest economy in Australia after New South Wales. Melbourne, the country's second most populous city, is in Victoria and has been visited by millions every year. Here are some stamps from Victoria. Next up is Western Australia. As its name suggests, it is the westernmost state of Australia. It has a diverse range of climates, including tropical conditions to the north, deserts in the interior, and even a Mediterranean climate on the southwest and southern coastal areas. Its capital city of Perth is the 4th most populous city in Australia. Here are some Western Australian stamps featuring the black swan, which is their official emblem. It's important to note that Australian Aboriginal peoples originally lived across the entire continent of Australia. They adapted to a wide range of ecological and climatic conditions, from tropical rainforests to arid deserts, long before European settlement began in 1788. Life in Australia did not begin when the Europeans arrived, but by the time of European settlement, Aboriginal peoples had occupied and utilized the entire continent, demonstrating a deep connection to their land and a successful adaptation to its diverse environments. Here are some Australian stamps honoring Aboriginal culture, leadership, and artwork. Next up is Azerbaijan. This may be another one that some people have never heard of. The Republic of Azerbaijan is a transcontinental and landlocked country at the boundary of West Asia and Eastern Europe. Now, Azerbaijan has changed hands quite a bit over the years. It was ruled first by Caucasian Albania and later by various Persian empires. Until the 19th century, it remained part of Qajar Iran, but as a result of the wars of 1804 to 1813 and 1826 to 1828, the Qajar Empire was forced to cede its Caucasian territories to the Russian Empire. A year after the fall of the Russian Empire, Azerbaijan Democratic Republic proclaimed its independence from the Transcaucasian Democratic Federative Republic and became the first secular democratic Muslim-majority state. Then again in 1920, the country was conquered and incorporated into the Soviet Union as the Azerbaijan SSR. The modern Republic of Azerbaijan proclaimed its independence on August 30th, 1991, shortly before the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Even though it is not a familiar country to many, it is a place you can visit. In recent years, Azerbaijan has become a popular destination for religious, spa, and healthcare tourism. During winter, the Shardag Mountain Resort offers skiing with state-of-the-art facilities. Here are some Azerbaijan stamps. Finally, we will briefly review the Azores. As mentioned when we discussed Angra, the Azores is an autonomous region of Portugal. It is an archipelago consisting of 9 volcanic islands, some more of which we will discuss in future videos. Its main industries are agriculture, dairy farming, livestock, fishing, and tourism. There's a ton of history relating to these islands, so please do your research if you'd like to learn more. Here are some stamps from the Azores, and a point of note is that Azore stamps were supplanted by those of Portugal in 1931. I hope you enjoyed the journey through history and the places of the world mentioned here. I myself had not heard of some of these countries and territories until I started to work with stamps myself. It is said it is good to put a face to a name. Well, in this video, we sort of did the same thing in the form of stamps issued by these regions. If you think this video was beneficial, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, happy collecting!